taking you from 5G to messaging, and specifically to new conversational commerce, which is one of the words that you might have heard and definitely you need to understand a bit more. We're going to be doing that with Kaio Marin, the market lead for Google Business Messaging messages in LATAM, and we're going to be talking about the potential of Google Business Messages itself. So get ready to the new tools from Google. Kaio, please come on here, and if you have questions, do continue sending.
Thanks, Dario.
Thanks again.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Math team, for inviting me here. Good morning. Thanks for those who managed to be here in person. I guess we have people from different countries, also online. So, yeah. And, oh, I guess I can use it, right? How can I use the laser thing? Oh, that's cool. So, before I start, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Kaio. I'm the market lead for business messages in Latin America. And I have colleagues all over the world, so US, APAC, EMEA, and other countries, also helping brands and partners with this product. So before I start, I have a question for you. Do you already know Google's business messages? And if yes, please raise your hands. Okay, I can see a few people with the, yeah, that's great. For those who knows Google Business Messages, hopefully today I'm going to bring new information about it. Oh, the light is kind of strong here. I'm going to go to this side. And for those who doesn't know, probably today you're going to get the opportunity to know this new product. So I like to start a presentation with some numbers. 70% of online experiences start on search engines. Globally, 92% in Google. In Brazil, specifically, 96%. So this data is from StatCounter. We pretty much go in Google when you want to find things, buy things, when you want to get an answer for a question, or even when you want to talk to a company, right? Have you ever tried to find the phone number of a company in Google? Yeah, probably yes. So trying to reduce the friction when we, as consumers, users, want to talk to a company, Google developed Google Business Messages. With, in a nutshell, it's like we aim to add a chat button, like this one here, across several entry points in Google's ecosystem. Have you ever seen this button before, and you didn't know that it was like Google Business Messages? Maybe. So I'm going to try to give some examples of the possible entry points that you can explore with this channel. Let's say I need to buy things at a grocery store. Where I go? Google search, and I type groceries near me. You're going to probably see a result like that. 3 out of 4 online customers use a search engine to find a business. I do it pretty much every day when I want to go to restaurants or any kind of place. I just Google for it. We're going to have like this kind of result. It can, you can see it from Google search, or also like we're going to search in a place inside of Google Maps directly. One of the entry points is over here. We can add a chat button just on the right side of the call button in the Google Business profile, which is the new name for Google My Business. When you click in this chat, it opens a pop-up, and this pop-up can have a live agent or a live agent with a chatbot experience. This entry point is available for Android and iOS. The other entry points I'm going to present today are available just for Android for now. Cool, so let's say I want to talk to Home Depot, Lojas Americanas, or any other company. I can also go to Google, Home Depot, and I'm going to be able to see different kind of results depending on what I'm looking for. So let's say this is the organic result for Home Depot. We can add a chat button in the bottom part of this result. We call it site links. If I click here, it opens the same chat experience as the previous entry point. If I search for Home Depot phone number, chat with Home Depot customer service, these kind of queries, you're going to probably be able to see this kind of result. We call it answer cards. So previously you had a phone number, website, and now we also have the chat button over here. You know, Google generates a lot of phone calls to brands every day. And with business messages, we have brands achieving up to 37 call deflection. It means they manage to reduce cost with call center and also to increase customer satisfaction score. Why? You're offering to your customer a channel that maybe he doesn't want to call you, he want to chat with your company. Cool, so I'm going to call the store to see if they still have those beautiful shoes. I don't have their chat, I have just the phone number, so let's call them. I open my Google Dialer app. It's available for Android. If you have an Android and don't have it, you can download it. This app has more than 1 billion downloads globally on Play Store. And when I'm typing the number, or if I click in this number from a website, app, anywhere, I'm going to also be able to see the chat button over here. Wow, I didn't know it. So I click, and I open the same chat experience. Important information, doesn't matter where I start the conversation with the brand. Could be organic, maps, dialer. The history of the conversation is going to always be there. Okay, so now I'm using an app, or I'm in a website, and I want to chat with a company. Oh, I can see this chat button. I can click on it. So it's also possible to generate a URL or a button, and you can share, include this button in your app, in your website. You can use this URL to generate a QR code and share it offline as well. Although it's available just for Android, we can configure a fallback to different channels. So let's say I have an iPhone and I click on this chat button. The brand can configure a fallback to send me to other channels or even to a website with another option to contact them. Cool. So let me try to find a new mobile device or anything else at Google. Soon, it's going to be possible to do Google Ads with business messages. This is still not available. It's something that's coming. We're going to have two formats. On my right side, your left side, you're going to have the extension format. You can add this chat button here. If you click in the title, it's going to take you to the website. If you click in the chat, it opens the chat experience. So you can give the user the option if they want to go to the site or to chat with your brand. On the right side, you're going to have the full ad format. It doesn't matter where you click, it's going to open the chat experience. You know, it's really cool because you can start to explore different interactions with your consumers, with the users, depending on the intent that they have. So let's say World Cup is approaching. So imagine that people are going after, they're going to buy new televisions, new TVs. So probably they're going to go to Google, they're going to go in Google and type television, new television, big ones. And imagine that when they click in this chat, or even here, when they are looking for a television, you can have a chatbot customized for this kind of intent. Oh, hello, I'm really glad you're looking for a new TV. See some really good options that I have in promotions. So this kind of experience we can explore with different entry points in with Google Business Messages. Oops, just got a notification. Let me see what it is. Oh, it's also possible to send push notifications with business messages. So after the first interaction of your user, you're going to have 30 days to send these kind of messages to the user. For Android, it arrives like that, with business messages and the logo of the company and the name. For iOS users, business messages is in the back end of Google Maps. Android, it runs at the core of Android. Cool. So I've just presented to you several different entry points that I have with business messages. And let's talk about rich features, what this channel has to offer in terms of features. First one, quick reply buttons. Different from other channels, when you open the experience in business messages, you already have a welcome message with buttons. It helps you to increase conversion and retention of the user in your chat experience. We also can offer carousel with images, buttons, pretty similar to the one you have with RCS. We can customize the experience when the user is talking to a chatbot and with a live agent. As you can see here, sorry. As you can see over here, the logo is the company's logo. It tells you when a live agent join, and then you can change the picture, change the name. It gives to the user like a better experience. We can also integrate business messages with payment processors using the API. When you click on this button, it takes you to a checkout page of any kind of like payment processors. And another cool feature that I like a lot is the possibility to integrate with OAuth. So imagine that you send to the user like this button, like sign in. It opens a web view. The user adds their like username, password. In your website, the brand's website, it closes the web view and the user is back to the chat experience authenticated. So you can like have a different experience there as well. Cool. So we aim to be the front door to helpful people-to-business relationships. So business messages is not a channel to talk to your friends, right? I'm not going to use it to talk to my friends, but I'm going to use it to talk to companies. And, and that's why brands around the world are using business messages to deliver great experiences for customers. We have brands all over the world using it. So this product is available globally. We have brands like Levi's, Decathlon, Best Buy, and also a lot of brands in Latin America, even in Brazil. McDonald's, Liverpool, Mexico, Ultragas, Dell, Domino's, among others. So this channel is growing fast. Okay, I'm going to share some results achieved by brands. First, we have brands achieving more than 85% customer satisfaction score. So this channel is great for customer service. Brands achieving more than 10% incremental volume. What does it mean? It means that if they don't have business messages, their volume with conversational channels would be lower. So maybe the user would go to phone, like to call a company, like to phone, or even to their competitors. So they could lose an opportunity. We also have brands achieving more than 35% of call deflection, as I said before. And lastly, more than 15% in sales conversion. So this channel is also great for sales. Let's take a look in some like real examples. Do we still have time? Oh yeah, I have time. Cool. This example is from Bajaj Auto in India. This case study was done like during like the first 2 months of a new release that they were working on. We had more than 34,000 unique users engaged during these 2 months, with a conversion 14.3 times higher than other channels, and 10% decrease in cost per acquisition compared to web chat. So, great example for sales. This is another one. Levi's US. Levi's US started this case study with us during COVID pandemic, the peak of the pandemic. The stores were closed. So people usually like to go to their physical store to like see the product, right? Talk to the seller, to understand like the differences between like several different products. So because they couldn't do it anymore. They couldn't do it anymore because the store was closed. So they were going to Google Business Messages to ask the salesperson about like this product. So CSAT over 85%, 30 times more store-related questions than website, and 30% more pre-purchase research than website. I don't have data about sales, but if pre-purchase research was so bigger than the web chat, you can imagine that the sales were also great for this specific case. Anyway, I have several other case studies that I can share with you today. These are the only ones that I'm going to bring. And I want to finish with a message. The idea here is not to be like better than any other channel. The idea here is to help the brands to be where your customer wants to talk to you. So be in Google, and hopefully we can work together in some kind of opportunities. And that's it. Thank you. Can I have some water? Yeah.
You take your break, and I'm here for bringing the voice of the public, which is you actually. any questions from you? We have already one from online, yet again. Well done to be so fast. Oh, got 2 questions. I couldn't. So should I ask you the first one? And I think the first one is the nice icebreaker, which just shows that people really want to go straight to the core. Is there a clear difference between Google Business Messages and RCS? As a matter of fact, we'll talk about RCS later, but you get to introduce it.
Cool. I guess, like as you said, Tati and the team, they're going to talk more about RCS later. But RCS and Google Business Messages, I'm going to say GBM, to be shorter, are totally different products that can complement each other. RCS, you can pretty much get, like, let's say 1 million phone numbers and send active messaging to these numbers. While GBM, it's not possible to do this kind of thing. It's a receptive channel across the entry points I presented before. So even you have the 30 days window I said opens just after the first interaction coming from the user. So the company can use like both strategies, business messages for receptive and RCS to active messaging.
Okay, so a different customer path, you seem to be saying. Yeah. Questions from the public? Do we have? I see something at the back. Oh, you have a microphone. Perfect.
Yes. Thanks, Kaio, for the information. I'm Gil José from Boku. Besides a kind of partnership with telcos for like data plans, zero rating, is there in your roadmap some kind of alliance with telcos to provide other services, to kind of partnership with telcos about this specific product?
Cool. Business different from RCS, which Tachi can later explain a little bit more, which runs together with the telcos and their infrastructure. Business messages is in the internet, right? So the user needs to have internet to be able to access business messages. The way you're working with telcos nowadays is that we have telcos implementing business messages for their customer service or even sales, and they're having great results. So this is the way you're kind of partnering with telcos now with business messages, at least in Latin America.
Following on that, if that was the answer, can you, this is a question from Eduardo Brazao, can you please describe how Google Business Profiles are verified to avoid spam and fake business listings of keyword-stuffed business names?
Can you repeat the first part, how they are verified? Or
yeah, I was talking about Google Business Profile, describing the Google Business Profile. Yeah. And how are the profiles verified? Meaning, I assume, if I said, I am the shop on your right, how do you make sure that you're really the shop on the right rather than trying to generate traffic?
Okay, maybe I'm not the best person to answer this question. Business messages connected across different Google's product. Usually have a specialist for this Google product. Although business messages is inside of Google Business Profile, I'm not a specialist of business profile. What I can say is we have different ways to verify the business. I know that in Brazil, sometimes they even send a letter, like a real letter to the place to guarantee that the place exists, the address exists. Sometimes we have some initiatives with when Google is trying to call this place to see if there's someone there to update the information in business profile, like working hours and things like that. So we have different approaches we take, and sometimes it's even different per country, the way you try to guarantee information is updated in business profile.
Thank you. And I'm trying to miss the two. We've got more questions from you guys in here. We've got plenty from the online, and they're beating you up, guys. It is a competition. Sorry, I think I had other questions myself, but there's so many that I'd like to squeeze as many.
Please, go ahead.
Would Google Messages be a better fit for small businesses instead of big brands?
That's a great one. Let me put my water here.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, thank you. Business Messages is pretty much available for any size of businesses. So let's say if you're a small business and you have your Google Business Profile, Google My Business, the old name, you can go there. You're gonna see a little button to activate chat. So you can pretty much activate business messages in Google Maps with 2, 1 click, right? This kind of functionality doesn't have integration with CRM, doesn't have a chatbot. It's really focused on a small business inside of Google Maps. On the other hand, we have our APIs. APIs are open to public, so brands can connect directly with API or through our partners, businessmessages.google. Go there, you're going to be able to see the API and also to see all the partners working with us. These partners, they are able to develop the chatbot, integrations, live agent platform, and things like that. It can also be focused sometimes in a smaller business, but it's a totally different approach. You have to pay for it. So yeah, it's available for everyone.
So different tools, but available for everybody.
Totally, yeah.
Well, you've been so game with us, so I'll go with this. This is a question that is probably slightly pointy, but get ready. Why is everything so complicated when related to Apple's device? Why don't we have the same kind of experience that is for an anonymous? Surprise. It wasn't me anyway, but it was there.
Okay.
So, and is it you or is it Apple? Or I know there's been a large discussions, even on the ether and in the news, where almost a courtship between the two companies. But where are we?
That's a great question. I guess I cannot say from the product side of the business. What I can say that Business Mess is a new product. We started developing it, I guess, 2 years, maybe a little bit more ago. And you're still working on new features, new entry points. So you have to put the chat button across like new entry points. So I guess it's more like a matter of time until Business Messages has like all the features you wanted to have. But now it's pretty much like ready to help a lot of business. So let's say, even if it's not available for Apple, it's not focused on active messaging. It's pretty much like focused on receptive messaging. And in Latin America in general, Android has a huge penetration. Even Google Maps, which is available for Android and also for iPhone, has a huge penetration as well across iOS devices. So I guess we can pretty much help the users already with what you have now. And let's see if the future is going to be also available for iPhone.
Okay, but as you were saying, in theory, you got a higher reach within some of your web-based interfaces anyway, so you could still get to an Apple customers and so on. Now let's go to Elizabeth Nunes. I think the question is touching something we've just, because mention it from her. What security steps you have to make sure the brands are really the ones, and it is not a scam? So we're going back to the profile verification. Seems to be a hot topic. Can you say something more, Van, go a bit more in details? How do you think that the rest of the profile business is going to stop these, especially now we know that in SMS there's so much of scam available.
You need to guarantee like verification and things like that.
Yes. Is there?
Yeah, I mean like not just about business profile, but let's talk about like Google Business Messages specifically. Yeah. We have a verification process to guarantee like the brands who is like running this channel is truly the brand who is like with the logo and the name over there. So let's say I'm a brand, I'm working with a partner. This partner is developing the chatbot for me. This partner has to verify your agent in Business Messages. So at some point, Google will like get in touch with the brand. We're gonna verify the URL, the domain of their email. They receive a token. So we have like this process to verify that if you're talking to the brand, that's the real like the brand that you're talking to, right? So, yeah.
Great, and you can imagine this is an industry that likes to ask questions like that. We'll come back more on that. And more questions are coming, but I think one which is a fair question in trying to explain some of the things you just mentioned now. So GBM, your acronym is taken, is P2A. But you talk about being able to re-engage with customers. Would re-engagement be by RCS? I think we understood that from your. But the question is, how can this be done if you don't have an MISDN, a phone number? So, question is, when you send, I understand that re-engagement message within the 30 days, what is the identity behind it?
Oh, cool. So Business Message is not connected with the phone number, right? So when the user gets in touch with the brand. The brand has a conversation ID. So Kaio talking to this brand, Kaio has like this little conversation ID, let's say 123. It's gonna always be the same ID when I'm talking to this brand. So this brand will use this conversation ID to send the push notification once the window is opened. So let's try the 3rd day's window is closed. If this brand tries to send a message to ID 123, it's gonna say, oh, sorry, the session's closed. So the brand can also work on fallback strategies to maybe send a message across different channels, let's say RCS. But the brand would need to cross data somehow. Because since GBM doesn't share with the brand the phone number, you could use a customer data platform, a CDP, to cross all this information. So let's say when Kaio interacts with my brand with business messages, I can ask some questions. Hey Kaio, what's your your ID, your phone number, or any kind of data? Oh, your phone number is that one. Perfect. You save in your CRM, and then you know that Kaio, with this phone number and with this business messages ID, is this person. So you can pretty much like organize your fallback strategy to use different channels.
Great. Let me ask you a question from my side, listen. And if you have, we have 2 more minutes, maybe try to squeeze in, raise your hands if you want more. I like to talk about money. It's a bit unfair, but you know, how do you make money? What's your business model behind it? How different it is from the RCS model, which is, we kind of know a bit.
Perfect.
Can you tell us?
Yeah, sure. As I said before, APIs for business messages are open to the public, partners, brands, whoever wants to use it. So in the organic entry points I presented today, API is free, so anyone can start using it today. Of course, if you're a brand working with a partner, you're gonna probably have to pay the partner for the chatbot development, platform use, infrastructure, and all of these things, but you're not gonna pay anything to Google. You're gonna probably make money in the future with this product with ads, as I presented, as a future opportunity for this channel. But organically, that's not how you intend to do it.
Okay. So we'll be tuned in the next development, and next we're going to have some of your colleagues, I'll say, talking about the other side. Great. So I think for Kaio, it's time to say thank you very much. And thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Us.
Thanks, everyone.